Today is Wednesday, Parashat Vayetze. In the Parashat of this week, there is an episode that illustrates the great importance of avoiding somebody from being embarrassed. So, Yaakov works for 7 years for Lavan for marrying Rachel. It was known that Lavan was kind of a deceitful person, that he might switch Leah for Rachel at the last minute. And Yaakov and Rachel develop a kind of a password, something to make sure that he's actually with Rachel and not with Leah, her sister. But before the night of the wedding, Rachel realizes that it would be a great embarrassment for her sister if she doesn't have the password. And she reveals to her what was the code that was between Yaakov and Rachel. All that in order to avoid her sister from being embarrassed. She gave up the right to marry Yaakov that they had already planned from before. And here we see the great, great importance of avoiding somebody from being embarrassed, to the extent that Rachel gave of herself, that self-sacrifice. And Yaakov had to work another 7 years for marrying Rachel also. And that's why we see that Rachel Imenu, our matriarch, is the one who the prophet tells us that she is the one that could intercede on our behalf and pray to Hashem to bring the Mashiach and to finish the Galut, because she was willing to give up something that was coming to her just to care for her sister. And that way she can ask also Hashem to be forgiving to us and to end the Galut and bring Mashiach. So that's the idea of Rachel Imenu and her great sacrifice that she gave, how important it is. Now we find ourselves in situations sometimes where somebody may offend us or may act towards us not in the proper manner. We are tempted to return in kind and maybe even to cause a person embarrassment. We have to be very careful not to embarrass another person. It's a great zchut to refrain from embarrassing another person, and not just that. Hachamim tell us that the person who embarrasses another, it's as if he killed him. So grave it is, that avera. So this is one of the lessons from the parasha of this week, to be very careful about not to embarrass other and to do everything possible to avoid embarrassment for another person. And that really was the great righteousness of Rachel Imenu. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.